My good people, welcome back. This is part 3 of how I survived a narcissistic abusive marriage. Part 3, I am pregnant. At the last part, please go back and watch part 1 and 2. If you missed part 1 and 2, if you just joined in part 3, this is part 3 of how our journey, my journey of how I met this guy. Part 1 was how I met him. Part 2 was how we started our life. And part 3 was I'm pregnant. Now I'm pregnant, 2007, I'm pregnant, finally pregnant with our first baby boy. And then I didn't know it was a baby boy, but yeah, first baby. And yeah, we are now living. We lost the job. I went back to the college. All the story is in the part 2. So let's continue with part 3. April, we found out I'm pregnant. My sister was also extremely sick. And she was in and out of hospital with kidney failure, kidney problems. And yeah, in the beginning, we didn't know what was wrong. So we came back, live at our little shack house, which we never gave up. Luckily, when we moved to the fancy house, we lost. Now we couldn't pay the rent, and we were back. I'm still at the college for the second year. My husband is still working that little job, not well paid, but that little job that he was doing. And towards the middle of the, middle of the year, my little sister passed away. She passed on, unfortunately, she passed on. And while we were still dealing with the second year, we are going out for student-based studies, SPS. So I started doing that. So in the mornings, I will do my SPS. We just started with that. I will do my SPS, and in the afternoon I will stand in for absent teachers or sick teachers. Like some teachers, or one teacher of the class I took over was a teacher of a pregnant teacher. She just gave birth. Or she was in the last phase of pregnancy, and she was booked off for 3 months. So I got a nice position, and I had now a little job for 3 months, and we were paid from the school. So that was just a little way of trying to supplement our income. So I would be gone for the whole day from my house, and my little boy was living alone, running around in the streets. When he was coming from school, he was now 2007, he was 7, and he was in grade 1. So we would go to school. The school was nearby. He would come with the neighbors' children and play around with neighbors, this neighbor, that neighbor. He was all over the place. But I had no choice. My husband was working until late. I was now teaching in the afternoons, and he was alone until one day usually when we are teaching, I don't know if it is the case now, even as a student teacher, the lecturers are coming to visit you. So your phone is switched off and packed away. So when I switched on the phone that particular day, I found 93 missed calls and messages on my phone, and my heart just went poof. I was pregnant also. By then, I think I was 5 months pregnant. I just had that feeling in my stomach like something is wrong. It was mostly my neighbor, the one next to me, the missed calls. 93 missed calls and messages. And I was shaking. And there was a colleague of mine who was also living on that side. So she was now picking me up. She was now also giving me a lift, and I'm shaking as I'm looking at the phone, and I'm saying, something happened. I'm just praying my baby's okay. And I'm on the way. I'm just that Ochumisi Road. I'm just praying, Lord, please, please, Lord. I was now thinking, is God now taking away the other one while I'm pregnant with the other one? Already my little sister passed away. Now, okay, what is it? I'm just in prayers. Please, Lord, let my little boy be alone. Be okay. Let my little boy be okay. Please, Lord, whatever happens. And I'm telling them, no matter what happens, I just pray that my little boy is safe and okay. We were entering the street, the whole location was scared that day. And I have not even looked at my yard. I'm just asking from the neighbor, where is my baby? Where is my baby? Where is my baby? Where is my baby? I'm crying now. I came in. I don't even know what happened to my colleagues. If they dropped me and left, I don't know what happened. It was just chaos. It was police. It was firemen. It was like everyone was full day. The whole location was there to see. So I don't care about that. I'm just now like my bag and my baby, my baby, my baby. And then one neighbor say, here, here, here. He's wearing a big jersey. And someone gave him a big jersey and he was wearing a big jersey. And I'm like holding my baby and I'm just standing there, also witnessing with the crowd what is happening. I lost everything. This fancy furniture, this everything we brought from the house we were living in, all these little things that we just struggled together was gone, was gone. I lost everything. So while they were busy, my husband was also called and we met there, and one traffic officer asked us, where do you want to go tonight, because it got late night, and they asked, where do you want to go? So we said, my mom's house, drop us at my mom's house. And yeah, we slept. My mom now prepared the kitchen. My mom's house was just a little kitchen and little sleep room and the toilet. That's the only thing that was there then. So we were dropped there. They just put in a big bed in the kitchen, and we just got few blankets, and then we just crawled up, all three of us, in that little bed, and then we just slept there. The next morning, my little boy was asking, Mama, where's my bike? My bike, my bicycle. I'm like, baby, our house went down. As I'm standing here, I don't even have a toothbrush. And people, I'm in SPS. I am doing student-based studies. Like, this is the time where the lecturers are coming to the schools where we are teaching and grading us according to our teaching. I must be teaching there at the school. I cannot be sitting here with no clothes. All my info SPS. Whew, I bought the nicest clothing, even if it was Style or Fashion World or wherever. The suits, I was just preparing. This is for Monday, this is for Tuesday, like how I will be dressing like a teacher. Finally, I'm becoming a proper teacher. So I was buying these clothes, all gone. Everything gone. It was all gone. Even a toothbrush. There was no toothbrush even. So yeah, let's continue. The next day after the house went down, I had a lesson that I had to present. I was in that phase. SPS is when you are presenting the lesson, your lecturer come and credit your lesson, give you marks for your presentation. So on this day, the day after my house went down, I had the lesson. I was supposed to be visited for my lesson. So I just went and delivered my people. I was so frustrated. I was so stressed, and I just let it out. This was the moment I realized I needed my diploma more than ever, because we just lost the place. We're still living it. We moved back. We lost everything again. My husband lost the good job that he was having, and now he was just working day and night, early in the morning until late for peanuts. So I knew now I have to work harder than ever to get this diploma. So I couldn't continue with the afternoon teachings because I had to go back and try to collect stuff, anything that we can get. And that evening, my husband was borrowed some little money. We could buy food for the house because we're now at my mom's place. So we bought for everyone. We bought enough so everyone can get something. And we just bought so few toiletries, toothbrushes, underwear, those things. We're now living here. with my mom. So that evening, my husband had little money. He went out. I let him because we were so stressed. He worked so hard to collect those little furniture for us. He was so proud to have a bicycle, proper bicycle for his son, and everything was gone. Everything was gone. We had nothing. We were left with nothing. So we went out to the same location where the things were got burned, and he was partying. The next thing I know is he come in the middle of the night and say, I got robbed. He was beaten up. He was bleeding from the head, forehead, the nose was skew. He was beaten up, and he said, I got robbed. So I said, okay, sleep, and then next morning you have to go to the police and report that you got robbed. So yeah, he even the little money that was left, it was gone now. His wallet was gone. He got robbed, and he came with nothing, beaten up. People, my husband went to report the robbery, that he was robbed and he lost his bag. So we were sitting there in the morning, still, there were still some, my mom and my sister and my little boy was now, the school was too far. The school was where we were teaching, where we were living. So my little boy was now not at school yet. He did not go back to school. So that day he was at home. So we are sitting there at home, and then I saw these cars, black cars, pulling up in front of my mom's yard. People, I've never seen this crime. I only see these things on TV, crime shows. You see these private investigators, forensic scientists. I've never seen those things in Namibia. I just saw it on TV. I never I never saw them in real life. These people were like the whole street was full of black cars. Private investigators were coming. My mom was sitting towards the gate and she's saying, "Ay, what's going on? Your husband is here with many, many people. Looks like police, but it's not police cars." So I thought maybe they went and report our house burning down because the previous day our house burned down. So maybe it's people who are helping us coming. I turn around and look, but the look was just different. It was just a different vibe. They were like asking questions. They are just picking up the little bed we were sleeping in last night, the previous night. They were just putting in these handcuffs. As soon as they were getting off, they were putting in these handcuffs. And the two guys who were in front were forensic scientists or forensic guys. They were putting on these gloves and these things to start now investigating the kitchen. We slept in the kitchen. They were picking up, they were throwing things, they were looking around, they were asking for the deep fridge that we are using. And I'm like, we don't have a deep fridge. Even the house who burned down was not having a deep fridge. Meat cutting machine. Like, we don't have those things. We don't even own those things. And I'm asking him, what's going on? They said, he told me, oh, apparently there was a girl killed last night or previous night. So now they are suspecting he's the B1 butcher. My people. As if I don't have enough, as if I have not go through enough. Now they are like, it's just adding and adding and adding, and my head cannot comprehend what are they talking about. I was so confused. I was so confused. People, this story is all over newspaper. I will leave a link for you guys to go read. Now I just lost everything, and now my husband got arrested there on the spot. The house burned down. When I thought these people are coming to help us, now the only income I had, the only person who would now rebuild my life, because I'm a student now, I don't have anything, I have nothing left. The only income I had is gone. My husband got arrested. They did not find anything, any trace. Equipment was not found, but still he was arrested, and still the newspaper, it was like fire, spreading like fire. We were the front page of the newspapers. Front page, from Namibian newspapers to Allgemeine Zeitung, the German newspaper. I woke up I went to the college the day after, and everyone was reading about us. This story that happened, B1 Butcher story, they were already looking for someone, and now a foreign guy, German guy, came in there to report beaten up. And then the lady came and reported she was raped by my ex-husband, and she only escaped, and she was also beaten up. All these things were made, and the newspapers were spreading news like wildfire. It was chaos, and they forgot there was a person, real human being, a family left behind, and these stories were affecting us badly. I almost lost my baby. My little boy, even though when we moved back to my little house, built like falling apart but built together, we moved back and he went back to school, but he was bullied. He was bullied with these newspaper stories that his father is chopping up women, and his father is a criminal, and he had to drop out. He dropped out. I was praying every morning. That teacher, that lecturer who was helping me with groceries, there was a lower primary lecturer. She was asking always if I had something to eat. She was telling me, don't worry, today's newspaper is tomorrow's toilet paper. Don't worry, it will blow over. Just hold your head high and finish your studies. They asked me if I should leave for that year to solve things, so I can sort out things and come back the next year to complete my second year. I said no. I came this far. I'm not leaving. This is the time. I need my diploma the most. I need my diploma. I need to finish this college. I need to get my diploma so I can get a proper job and start teaching. So they were advising me there was a counselor, there was people gathering. And I said, that's the only thing I have left now. These studies is now the only thing I have left. I have nothing else left. And then they said, okay, it's up to you. If you can do it, if you feel you can do it, you can go ahead and do it. So I continued with my studies. I was allowed to study, and people were laughing. People can be cruel. The very people I was helping were laughing at me. I needed someone so much. I was pregnant. I was broken. I was ashamed. I was scared. I was in fear that lady who was accusing my now ex-husband raped her will burn me up with them, because that is what she was saying. That woman was saying, I will burn you alive with your children in that house. Your husband raped me. I will burn you alive. Every time she was seeing me going to college or coming back, she will scream from those shebins she was drinking. She will scream names at me and call me names and tell me she will burn me with my children, with my child in my house, and that child I'm carrying, she will burn me with that child I'm carrying. My people left me. I was sitting under the light pole to study. There was nothing, no husband, no money, no candle to study. There was nothing. I was always hungry. I was always hungry. I would be walking to the college and back, and I would be one day I fainted and I was admitted in the hospital. I was in Catholic hospital, but then my husband's medical aid ran out and I could only stay 2 days. That doctor was pressing my tummy and saying, you are not well fed. Are you eating enough? Are you eating enough? And I was hungry. I would give the little bit I would have, I would give to my little boy. I would give to my little boy, and then I would stay hungry. I would be drinking. The main food I was eating was coffee, and this, when you make porridge, the leftover, the bent part, that was like tasting like cookies or biscuits. When you're hungry, even the worst thing is tasting better, best. So that thing I would eat with coffee. If we make porridge, I will scoop out the porridge for my little boy, and I will eat that last part with coffee. That was my meal. I was not eating well. I was in a bad place, and I had no one to talk to, no one to cry on, no one. People left me like they, the worst part is the same people who were there, who I was there for. I was there for my siblings, my parents. I was making sure my family is not suffering. They watch me suffer. They were watching me suffering. And that's how I went through the college years, college months, and by the end of, some lecturers will ask me to go clean and go iron, and then I will get money. I was just praying, let this baby come in the holiday, and truly, like he knew what I was going through. My baby was the year end. In November end, we finished the final exams. In the 3 days later, my baby was born. I told my neighbor, I think I'm going to have my baby, and she asked her husband if they can take me to the hospital, but the husband was a security guard and he had to work early in the morning. So she said, okay, take this credit, phone credit, MTC credit, that little blue thing. She said, take this credit, and if you are done, if you have the baby, we cannot stay long, but if you have the baby, tell us, then we can come pick you up. We cannot stay with you. So she gave me this little credit of $10, and I took me to the hospital, and then I had my baby. There was no one. My bedside, there was nobody. In my culture, we bring mahou, that soft pap, warm with tea and stuff for the woman when she give birth. When I was giving birth, there was no one. There was no mahou, nobody was by my bedside. Nobody. I had no one. The lady next to my bed was sharing her food, her meat, her stuff. And in my culture, we don't eat meat after giving birth. But this lady saw I had nothing. So she was sharing her meat and her stuff with me, so I can at least eat something. Now the hospital was serving, so I would, when the hospital was serving the food, I would make like I'm eating, and then I will be putting in that little, this little butter, these little square butters, and little jam and little bread, those things, and an apple. So you, sometimes they will give you an apple or orange or something. I was putting in my little bag. So I was putting in those little things in my bag because I left my little boy at home with the neighbors. I just left him there with the neighbors because where will I cannot take him to the hospital with me, and I have no family. And I came back the next day. I gave this lady who was giving me meat, I said, can you please buy my credit? I have airtime. My neighbor gave me the airtime, but I don't have taxi money to go home. I have a little boy at home, and I cannot stay away too long. So she took the $10 credit, and she gave me the $10, and she even gave me a hospital food, those food they don't eat, apples and this wrapped up bread and this jam and things. And she was already there for a few days. I just came the previous night and had my baby. Around 9 I was already having my baby. So the next morning I could get up and walk around, and I was able to stand around. I was able to, and I had to be strong. There is no one for me. I cannot lie around there being weak. No, there was no one. And I have a little boy. I don't even know where he slept the previous night. So she said, ask the doctor if you can go back because you just came yesterday. So I asked the doctor. I told him, my little boy is only 7 years old and he's alone at home. Can I please be discharged? And he just let me sign a paper. I took my food. I was so excited to bring my baby. I was just thinking how his eyes will pop out with this food and a new baby, our little baby. And I took the taxi. And I came home. The taxi man was also asking, where are you going? I cannot drop you here because if you only have $10, you cannot go until the house. That taxi man, people, there were angels sent everywhere. There were angels sent everywhere. There were angels. That taxi man said, I can take you home. And he dropped me home. Strangers were coming through for me. Strangers were coming to help me. He dropped me home, and my little boy was sitting there. My yard was high with grass. I tried to, we had grass in front of the yard, so that area was higher. So he was sitting at that little high thing, hungry and alone, not knowing where his mom is. He was still sleeping when the neighbor took him. So he didn't know where I went at night. So my little boy saw me with the taxi and was helping me carry the bags, and I just wanted to get inside our little house. Although we could see the sky when we were inside, we could see the outside. I just wanted to get in there, and I showed him his little brother. Oh, he was so excited. He was so overprotective. He was like, Mama, is it really ours? Is it a real baby? Is it? No, he was so amazed by this little human being. He was so amazed. He would be touching the head. He would be like he was all over his little brother, and of course the little food he had, he ate. So by then we had this EPUB. EPUB was this brown pap. It's instant porridge, but you just mix it with water. So I had EPUB still. Someone gave me when I was just trying to ask around food. That particular day, I came to a place where they are helping elderly in Windhoek West. There is a place where they are helping elderly people. They sing, pray with them, and then give them food. The story of how I got the EPUB. So this EPUB, that I was standing there again with the college jacket. I saw that if I'm wearing this college jacket, at least people have mercy. So I came there, and there was one guy in a wheelchair, said, no, we cannot help you. You are clean, you look neat, you don't need help. You are in order. We help people who need help. Your appearance will already show us you need help. So my mistake was to bath and look neat and clean. But my people, no matter what I go through, no matter if you know me, you know, no matter what I go through, I will bath, I will take care of myself. I will not look like my problems. So I will iron that little dress from Pep Store or from Style. I will look good. I don't want to look like my problems. So I was looking clean with the college tracksuit. So I was leaving the place. So the guy, the elderly man, I heard him speaking on Channel 7. But I cannot remember his name, Johan, or I'm sorry I'm mentioning his name, but he was an angel. He came in while I was leaving, and he asked, you got help, why are you having nothing? And I said, no. They said, I'm too clean. I cannot get help. Here is for people who, my appearance will already show if I need help or not. So he said, no. Are you from Windhoek College? I said, yes, I'm from Windhoek College. And I have nothing to eat. I have nothing. And he said, you are also pregnant. I was still pregnant. The story is where we got the EPUB from. When I gave birth, I had EPUB. So where is the EPUB coming from? So I'm quickly recapping to just fill you in, my good people. So the guy said, no, I'll come in. He was carrying so many stuff. He said, come in, I will help you. And then he said, okay, here is, he went back to the guy on wheelchair and said, no, we must help us. He's a student from College of Education. I told them everything and said, no, I know that story. And he grabbed so many bags of EPUB and say, it's for people with sicknesses, people with, it's my case was no help. There was no one who was helping people going through trauma or victims of crime or anything. I was not fitting in any category. So everyone was telling me, we don't help your case. And I collect this fruits and tins, and they were having this, they are helping elderly, and they always have in stock these tins of food and dry foods and all those things. So I collect what I could. So that's how I got this EPUB. So when I came home, all I needed was hot water, and my neighbor gave me the hot water. So I mixed this little pap, and I was so hungry after giving birth. I was so hungry. I ate this pap, this EPUB. There were so many boxes, so many bags. I had so many bags of this EPUB. So this guy even gave me his number, and to come back if I need, not much, but they were always making sure I'm not coming back for every Wednesday like other people, but not much, but I can help you here and there, he said. So I ate this EPUB, and we were eating that EPUB, and my baby was eating this little food I brought from the hospital. He was not a baby anymore, he was now the big brother. But that's how we started, alone, and me and my 7-year-old was there with, but God was also there. God was also there with us. Just the fact that I knew when my baby was coming, just the fact that I have not gave birth alone with my little 7-year-old, and not being able to, just that I knew just the signs. I knew when to go, and not at night. It was also not at night. It was around 6, 7. So someone can help me, because how would I have looked for help if it was midnight? And little things, little miracles that God was giving in this phase that I was struggling. So I was holding on to that hope. God is with me. So that's how I had my little baby while my husband was in prison. And through this phase, while he was in prison, the newspapers came out, and his stories from Germany also came out. Thank you, my people, for joining. Make sure you subscribe, leave me a comment. Those encouraging comments are so motivating. I hope to inspire others. So I want to share all I can. I want to let this story out. I'm tired of carrying this burden. And if I can just help someone by sharing my story, that is the purpose I'm doing this. And thank you always for supporting me. Come back for the next part. Is it part 4? Yeah, then come back for the next part. Thank you. Bye-bye.